Guys, it's Icynewyear, and I'm here with GraeGast.
Hello.
Yeah. I'm going to start with a question from Rafael Castro. Where did the name Icynewyear come from? And I've held off answering this question for a while because it's full of shame and regret. Basically, it was a while ago. I've been using Icynewyear for a long freaking time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you even know the answer to this one. But,
Maybe.
it was a New Year's Eve when I came up with the name. It was really icy and snowy, and my family was out on a drive, and they hit a patch of ice, and they all died. My entire family died. So I took up the mantle of Icynewyear. I fought snow crime for what? No. Okay. No, I used to be... I don't even want to say this. There's a band called Thursday. Yeah. And they have a song called Jet Black New Year. And I used to listen to it every New Year. It was like a secret shame, like shameful pleasure kind of deal. I haven't listened to the song in forever because I've realized that Thursday fucking sucks. But it was an icy, like a very icy, snowy New Year, and I was listening to Jet Black New Year, and like a couple days later I had to make an account for something, and I don't even remember what I used up to that point. I don't remember. But that's what came to me, because I had, it was snowy, and that song had been in my head. But yeah, thank you for my shameful question, Raphael. Thanks. I appreciate that. But yeah, on to better things. GraeGast and I just played a couple games of Marvel Dice Masters, our first time playing. I am going to not say my actual opinion on the game, because we're on the way over to my house to do some recording of the podcast, and that's going to be one of the major topics for this podcast. So if you want opinions, you're going to have to listen to that. For those who missed it, the podcast has a name now and a logo made by Sockthing. YouTube.com/SockthingGaming. I was right, which makes me feel pretty good. The podcast is going to be called Beyond the Beard. I'm really happy about that one. It was a lot less creepy than other ideas I had. Was like In Your Ear with Icynewyear, which is just kind of uncomfortable because I feel like it's an ear fuck reference. Like, fucking your ear with Icynewyear and his penis, like, and the logo is just, an ear and just my dick, just ramming in there. I wouldn't get very far, but, that was a small dick joke. I feel like I have to drop those every, 3 or 4 vlogs, I don't want anyone thinking I'm well endowed.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to lie to these great people. Oh, yeah, you're all terrible, because I don't want to lie to you. Nah, you're all alright. I guess not all of you alright. There's probably at least, one of you that is, a really terrible person. You know who you are. Thank you for your support. But, I don't discriminate. I mean, if you can... Mother Teresa could watch this, and I'd be happy. The ghost of Hitler could watch this, and hey, it's of you.
That's true.
I'm okay with it. I mean, he's not, killing the ghosts of Holocaust-era Jews in, my yard. That wouldn't be okay. This has gone off the fucking rails. Okay, let's try to get less racially sensitive here. I just plain don't like minorities. Oh, wait, I went the wrong way. No, minorities are pretty cool. Yeah, okay, so what was I saying? Oh, podcast. Yeah, there's a segment on the podcast I want to start, because I thought of a name for it that's very punny. I'm going to be honest, that's why I want to do it. It's called Icynewyear. It's one of my favorite things I've ever thought of. So, if you have any questions, I got to set up the podcast email. But I'll talk about podcast email and Twitter on the next one. It's probably just going to be Beyond the Beard at Gmail and at Beyond the Beard. I just have to see if those are taken. So yeah, we'll find out. But you can definitely call into the hotline, 304-581-7431, and that'll be in the description down below. It is a U.S. number, so I wouldn't call it if you're outside the U.S. because that would cost you a lot of money.
Unless you really wanted to talk.
Right, right. But if you're outside the U.S. and you want, your voice on the podcast, I would use, just sound record it and email it to me, or Vukaroo is a online, very quick, easy-to-use sound recorder. You can just send me the link. But yeah, so that's a thing that's there. That won't ring in my house anywhere. It'll just bring you to a voicemail, and that voicemail gets emailed to me. But let's see, beyond that, that's pretty much it. It's going to be working on the podcast today, and the board game we're working on.
Right. Yes.
Which we're going to be talking about in the podcast, so I'm not going to go into any details here. I'm also trying to decide, the podcast will be on iTunes, and you can get it through any podcast RSS reader. But I'm considering putting it up on YouTube for people who prefer it that way. I would probably just, render the logo over the full time. It is decided it's going to be an every other week podcast. I might eventually move that to weekly if it's something I know I can keep up with, but I'd prefer to keep it every other week for now, just to make sure I can stay on schedule with it. As I'd prefer to, have more time and not be late, as opposed to having a chance at being late. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I didn't record much yesterday. I did a little bit more Ant Farm Survival, which I'm super excited for that coming out. That's been really fun. Captive 3 apparently is not out. The Matabase lied to me. I don't know why he thought it was out, but I did some searching, and it definitely isn't. At all. Yeah. Oh, there's an XCOM board game coming out, which
yes.
It's from Fantasy Flight. I'm trying to remember what else that guy designed, because I don't remember his name actually. But I double checked, and he had some really good game designs under his belt, so I'm pretty excited about it. It's a cooperative game, so yeah, it's pretty much on my must-buy list.
That'd be pretty awesome.
It's going to take a lot of bad press for me to change my mind on that one. But yeah, the components are really nice looking. The art's gorgeous. And Fantasy Flight always does a great job with art and such. I'll just have to wait 2 or 3 weeks so that someone puts out a readable rulebook for it. Fantasy Flight rulebooks are the fucking worst.
They're terrible.
For those who don't play many games, Fantasy Flight rulebooks are some of the worst rulebooks I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank everyone for watching. Remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed, hit the dislike button if you didn't, but tell me why. Share this with your friends so that they can become Icymaniacs too. Yeah, we're not going to call you guys that. That's terrible. But yeah, as always, have a great one.